I hate to say I told you so. Live on a Saturday. It's the 25th of October. Week 8 of this NFL regular season kicks off tomorrow, and the Ravens will officially, in a gotta-have-it, must-win game with their season on the line, they'll be without their star quarterback, Lamar Jackson, for the third consecutive game. Welcome inside the channel. I'm Bobby Trosset. As always, this is where I bring you Baltimore sports and beyond. We got a lot to get to today. Like the video, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you enjoy it. Perhaps leave a super chat if you want to hear your voice heard, or maybe, just maybe, you can click on the link that I have right now as a pinned comment in the live chat, assuming you want to share a thought on this very strange turn of events after Lamar was ruled questionable. That's his questionable designation with the hamstring injury yesterday, and a full participant after being upgraded from limited on Wednesday and Thursday. So Justin Holt says hamstring injuries are tricky, but I got a bigger question. Does Lamar want to play for the Ravens again this year? Does Lamar want to play for the Ravens this year? Because when you start to put two and two together and you read the tea leaves on this, it's getting more and more strange. Very strange. So let's talk about it. Adam Schefter, just a short while ago, reports that Lamar is going to miss his third straight game. That means it's Tyler Huntley, who was elevated from QB3 to QB2, who will be QB1 coming up tomorrow against the Bears. Cooper Rush is no longer in consideration to be that guy. And as Schefter writes, and this really is totally irrelevant going into tomorrow, that Lamar is expected to return on Thursday night against the Miami Dolphins in what will be a short week. Okay? But that doesn't matter. What matters is the next 24 hours plus. They have to find a way to get this game tomorrow against the Chicago Bears, and they'll now have to do so without their quarterback. And guys, I don't need to tell you twice that I think you could make a legitimate argument that the Ravens are the worst team in the National Football League without Lamar. So that's what they now find themselves staring at. And just in case you needed further confirmation, the team gave you that not long after Schefter's nugget dropped. And the Ravens say there's been an update to Lamar's Friday practice and game status. Really? Jackson was downgraded from a full practice participant to limited, and he's been ruled out for tomorrow's game versus Chicago. Guys, this is bizarre. This is not normal. This is strange. And there will be ramifications to this. I think we can pretty much guarantee that. The league will be looking into this. Because how do you, for QB1, your star quarterback, how do you upgrade him to a full participant? We'll hear from John Harbaugh in just a bit in terms of how he looked. We'll hear from Todd Monken in just a bit in terms of how he thought he looked several days ago on Thursday. And then you downgrade him on Saturday and say it should have been a limited participant? I don't want to act hyperbolic here. I don't want to make too many extreme accusations here, but something's not adding up, guys. Something's not adding up whatsoever. Here's John Harbaugh yesterday.
I know this. He practiced today, full practice today, so that was good. And we'll see where we're at going forward. I just think we're going to talk about it as we go and figure out what we got to do to try to win the game. I mean, that's really what we're going to try to do. You know, what's our best opportunity to win the football game on Sunday. Where does everybody stand, including number 8, Lamar, and anybody else? And that's just how it goes. And you do your best. And really, you could, I'm sure, when we do talk about it at length, but it's not really a public conversation. And we're going to try to put our best team out there and play our best.
Thanks to AJ Gersh for the sound there from Fox 45. Here's Todd Monken on Thursday. And Taurus, I just got to get through my opening commentary here, and I'm going to get to the waiting room in just a second here, just so that we're thorough. But here's Monken on Thursday.
What I have to see, it's the player that really has to feel comfortable going out there and putting themselves in position to play. He says he's ready to go. I'm ready to go. I feel great. I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, any great player that says they want to play, I'm all in. It's up to him. And I thought he looked really good today. I thought there was things he did out there today that took another step forward.
Okay, that was on Thursday during coordinator press conference. You see where I'm going with this? What's really going on? Monken says, well, it's really not what I have to see. It's the player that really has to feel comfortable going out there and putting themselves in position to play. I thought he looked really good today. I thought there was things he did out there today that took another step forward. Well, what about earlier today from Ian Rappaport? NFL Network's Ian Rappaport had this to say at 10:12 a.m. earlier today. Lamar ran the scout team according to his sources. And he ran the scout team on Friday. As Ian wrote, an indication that the two-time MVP is a week away from returning despite having a full practice, which we now know wasn't full. Apparently, the team says it should have been listed as limited with that hamstring designation. So yes, it's Tyler Huntley in a gotta-have-it game. But guys, this is bizarre. The team is probably going to be punished because of this. I get the sense that there is a disconnect between Lamar and the coaching staff at the moment. But more importantly, the Ravens now have their backs against the wall. And when they don't have Lamar, quite frankly, they are unrecognizable. John Harbaugh is 4-12 without Lamar since he took over in 2018 for Joe Flacco. They average 15.3 points per game throughout that time span. And as Marcus Mosher correctly suggests, you can make a strong case that the Ravens are among the worst teams in the league when Lamar doesn't play. The line shifted significantly after this news. They went from 6.5-point favorites at home to 1.5-point favorites. And now I want to get your thoughts on today's breaking news. You've heard what I've had to say. I find this very strange. This is bizarre. The team's going to be hearing from the NFL at some point, I would imagine, based on this change, based on this really manipulated injury report. And now the Ravens, in a gotta-have-it game, will be without Lamar. And in comes Tyler Snoop Huntley, who, yes, has beaten Chicago before in relief of Lamar, dating several years back. But that's neither here nor there. Right now, this is a team that has lost its way, that does not have an identity. I was going to say is banged up, but it's actually not banged up. It's the healthiest it's been maybe since week 1 or week 2. But it's going to be all for naught without Lamar. Your thoughts? It will have a 60-second timestamp today, knowing that the waiting rooms are going to be flowing. Lamar Jackson has officially been ruled out of tomorrow's Week 8 contest against the Chicago Bears. The plot continues to thicken. He was listed as a full participant in yesterday's practice. The team just tweeted out a short while ago that he was actually a limited participant. Ian Rappaport noted that he ran the scout team. And now in comes Tyler Huntley. Lamar has officially been ruled out with a hamstring. Your thoughts on it? Johnny, Will, I'm sorry. You know what? Taurus was in here first. Then we'll go to Johnny and then on to Will. Appreciate you guys for being here today. Over 700 concurrents. A lot of people wondering, I think we're all wondering, what's really going on inside the Ravens organization right now? Taurus, you think you got an answer for that? Welcome to the program, brother.
Yeah. See, Bobby, this is why I was I had your back this week, man. I had your back with Femi and Sarah. Everybody kept saying, "Oh, well, you're being negative, Bobby. You're not being optimistic, X, Y, and Z." But this been going on since week one. We had Lamar in the game and we lost. You know what I mean? This is the first time since 2015 and 2005 where we've been 1-5. We're about to be 1-6. There's no coming back from this. And I've been felt like if Lamar, not to say he's incompetent, but if Lamar was smart, it's in his best interest not to play. Nothing's going to change until he starts to make the change. Everything's going to still continuously be comfortable for everybody. Nobody's going to cause any waves. Things got to be dysfunctional in order to get right sometimes, Bobby. Sometimes you got to crash out, man. And if this is his silent protest, so be it. I'm all for it, man. But I knew this was going to happen. I knew it. I knew it since week one, man. I knew it. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. They blowing it up, Bobby. They blowing it up.
Thanks for the call, brother. Appreciate you. Guest lines are open. Femi's in the house. This is pretty strange. Femi says, Bobby, you don't want to be hyperbolic. LOL, come on, man. Dude is recovering from an injury. No one said he was 100% ready. Nobody said he was 100% ready, Fem. I haven't said that yet. But this is a strange turn of events. This is bizarre. Todd Monken again on Thursday.
What I have to see, it's the player that really has to feel comfortable going out there and putting themselves in position to play. He says he's ready to go. I'm ready to go. I feel great. I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, any great player that says they want to play, I'm all in. It's up to him. And I thought he looked really good today. I thought there was things he did out there today that took another step forward.
And John Harbaugh yesterday.
I know this. He practiced today, full practice today, so that was good. And we'll see where we're at going forward. I just think we're going to talk about it as we go and figure out what we got to do to try to win the game. I mean, that's really what we're going to try to do. What's our best opportunity to win the football game on Sunday? Where does everybody stand, including number 8, Lamar, and anybody else? And that's just how it goes. And you do your best. And really, you could, I'm sure, when we do talk about it at length, but it's not really a public conversation. And we're going to try to put our best team out there and play our best.
Femi says, we all thought he was playing. Manipulated report. LOL. He didn't go from in to out. He went from questionable to out. Fem, come on, man. Come on. You're still going to try and take a victory lap over me on this one? Kobe Pruitt says, Lamar saw the front office moves and decided that it wasn't worth risking further injury to save a coaching staff the players no longer believe in. The team is broken. Clean house. KP, thanks for the super chat. Let's back to the guest lines we go. Will, your thoughts on today's move, which, again, rules Lamar Jackson out. Lamar is not playing tomorrow in a gotta-have-it game against the Chicago Bears. Your thoughts, my friend. Good to see you.
Good to see you, too. I was literally getting ready. I have a long day today. I'm going to the Louisville game tonight. But I got that news, and I'm like, okay, Lamar's out maybe till Thursday, and then the Ravens switched that. And I'm like, again, like everyone else is thinking, what is going on? You have the OC problems. You have John Harbaugh not believe, and then DC doing whatever the crap there. And then now this, and like I see, like, oh, we want to have a competitive advantage, but obviously that's illegal in the league. They're going to get fined. But like, again, it's just what is going on in this sense. I would want Lamar to be playing if he through the injury for his team, but at the same time, like you want him healthy. And obviously we're probably going to lose this game. And so it's like, I think our season's basically done. I don't want to overreact, but at the same time, it's just looking like that. So I don't like it. I mean, I yapped about this on my TikTok, but I mean, it's just, I don't like it. I don't like it.
Brother. Hope that semester's going well, my man. I'm sure midterms and whatnot in full swing right now. You're the man, Will. Appreciate you. Johnny, your thoughts on Lamar being ruled out officially for tomorrow's game against Chicago. Good to see you, man.
Hey, how you doing, Bobby? Hey, man, I'm with everybody. My thing is, I was trying to say the first time I called in about a couple days ago, I just think the Ravens organization in the whole is just soft. I just feel John Harbaugh mentality where you and Sarah was talking. There's no turbulence. There's nobody could challenge nobody in the organization, and I think that's the big problem. And I feel like personally, Lamar is a little soft. I know he want to take care of himself and make sure he's 100%. But bro, we need this game more than anything. And if Patrick Mahomes and all the other high-paid quarterbacks will go out hurt and play, I'm not sure why can't we make a game plan for Lamar to get out of his hands and not run. But that's just my thing, man. I think we're too soft as an organization, and I just think, man, we needed big changes from top to down, man. That's it.
Thanks, Johnny. Appreciate the call, man. And thanks all of you guys for being with me today. Guest lines are hot right now, and I'm curious to hear from you. One, you think the Ravens have what it takes tomorrow without Lamar to beat to Chicago to keep this season alive on a short week and a quick turnaround to Thursday Night Football against the Dolphins? One. And two, what do you think's really going on right now behind the scenes when it comes to Lamar Jackson's health status? Brother Goose will bring you in just a second here, but another super chat from Kobe Pruitt. KP writes, why would Lamar come back to an awful offensive line that hasn't changed with a bad hamstring, a defense that requires him to score 40, and a coaching staff that can't call a game or falls apart when it counts? Well, he's obligated. He's contractually obligated, Kobe. I get your point, and I respect what you're saying, but Lamar Jackson has an obligation to be back if he can be physically. And as you start to read the tea leaves from those that have spoken throughout the week, it sure seems like barring some sort of setback in the last 24 hours, it's been 24 hours since John Harbaugh spoke to the media. It's been 48 hours, not even, since Todd Monken said what he had to say. Unless there was a setback, unless he truly can't go, and I understand that he's still within technically that 4-week window that began at the end of the Kansas City game, which was 3+ weeks ago at this point. Unless that's the case, he has an obligation to be back despite their deficiencies. Can we agree on that? Back to the guest lines we go. Thanks, KP. Appreciate you. Brother Goose, talk to me. You are inside the channel. 60 seconds starts now. Welcome.
Hey, Bobby. How you doing, man? Hey, look. Do not panic, big dog. Do not panic. I get it. It all looks bleak. It all looks bad. But here's the bottom line.
Brother, we'll give you another chance. Brother Goose, call back in. Call back in when you get some connectivity. Here's why I'm panicking. I'm going to tell you why I'm going to panic. I'm panicking because of what's on the screen right now. And I'm panicking because I know what we've watched the last couple of weeks without Lamar. And I know some of these deficiencies existed before Lamar went down. But I also know that this team is unrecognizable without him. And I don't care who the opponent is. John Harbaugh's 4-12 without Lamar since 2018. And they only put up 15.3 points per game. I don't need to tell you guys what the last couple of weeks have been like. They've put up 13 combined points without him over the last 2 weeks. One came against Houston. The other came against the Rams. The panic button's already been pressed if Lamar can't go. Period. Brother, get back in here. Get back in here. Wait, hold on now, because you're already... Bro, all I can see right now in the waiting room, because I can't hear, is just brother's mouth going nuts right now. And that's his name, by the way. I'm not calling him brother. It's Brother Goose is what it's in the waiting room, just to be clear. But I'm bringing you back on, resetting your 60-second clock. But I want to know right now why you feel like the panic button hasn't already been pressed. Welcome back to the program. Good to see you. Oh, my. Come on, Brother Goose. Where are you at?
Thanks again, Bobby. Thanks for bringing me back in. Hey, here I am. You got me? You got me?
Absolutely.
Okay. Here's the...
Man, he just doesn't want to talk about the panic button because that shit's already been pressed. Come on, let's be clear on that. The panic button has been pressed. It was all about this week being the conversation was, in my mind, and why I wasn't fully convinced in a Ravens win. And as I started to get convinced or pressured at the end of the week to pick the Ravens, or at least pressured in the sense that Lamar is going to go, I couldn't bring myself to this realization that without Lamar, they were still capable of winning this game, because I couldn't even get past the idea of with Lamar, they'd necessarily be able to win the game. Now, without him, forget about it. I'm not picking the Ravens tomorrow. Not a chance. Dre, are you? Who are you picking? And what's your reaction to everything going on today? Maurice, Moneybag, brother, I see all. We'll get you guys in just a bit. Appreciate you. Welcome, brother.
Yo, what up? Bobby, can you hear me all right?
Absolutely. Looking good today.
Look real quick. My baby girl in the car with me. We at my son's football game. Say what's up, mama. What's up?
Hey, what's your name? Mariah, how are you?
Araya. I almost named her Mariah. I like Mariah Carey, but I took the M off, so I named her Araya.
Just because Mariah is the best for resetting your clock. Back to 60 you go.
Yo, so I really honestly believe that if there are no offensive line changes, I think Lamar probably is like, look, I can't go out there behind this offensive line. And I just hope it's no setback. You know, for them to come out with a report like, why do we have so much issues when it comes to our injury report? Like we had last year where Lamar talked about, oh yeah, I was pretty much injured going into the playoff game. That's why I wasn't running around. Why wasn't that reported? We never heard about that until Lamar slipped up and said it. So I think it's a larger issue, man, going on. But hey, look, self-preservation. At the end of the day, Lamar holds all the cards right now. So if they're not gonna get on Lamar's page, it's gonna be a long way down to not victory land.
Thanks, brother. Hope you and Mariah have a great Saturday, man.
All right, later.
Later, Dre. Let's go with connectivity today. Anybody got Wi-Fi today? Anybody got service today? What's going on? Lamar Jackson's officially been ruled out of this Week 8 game against Chicago. A gotta-have-it game coming up tomorrow against the Bears inside the bank. The line has shifted from 6.5-point favorites in favor of the Ravens to 1.5, still in favor of the Ravens. I'm getting your thoughts on a very strange turn of events. Lamar was listed as a full participant yesterday and has since been downgraded on a Saturday. Unheard of. What should have been a limited participant yesterday, says the team. That after Ian Rappaport tweeted out earlier today that Lamar ran the scout team yesterday. Very bizarre, very strange. What do you make of it? Maurice, will come to you in just a second. Kobe says, I guess he got a doctor's note. Boba T says, frustrating messaging from the organization. San Francisco is 17-7 without their starters. We should at least be competitive in these games. All we can do is pray that we win. And it has been nothing but, or anything but, I should say, competitive over the last couple of weeks. And I don't need to tell you guys that, because we've all watched this unfold since Lamar went down in the second half in Kansas City. Edwin Rice says, if Lamar can't go, he can't go. But Bobby, I'm with you. Something isn't right here. Harbaugh's verbals doesn't even exude confidence. And that to me is worrisome. We'll be at the game tomorrow, but it doesn't look good at all. God bless you for going to the game. And how many of you feel a bit betrayed who maybe bought tickets thinking Lamar would be there, and now he will be there, but he won't obviously be dressing to play against the Chicago Bears coming up tomorrow. Back to the guest lines we go. Over 1,000 concurrents on a jam-packed Saturday with a strange turn of events. Lamar has officially been ruled out of this game, as you probably have learned by now. Maurice, your thoughts on a very interesting start to your Saturday. Welcome into the program, dude.
Well, Bobby, I'm going to be honest with you. I certainly don't see this Ravens unit turning it around. You know, we're only at the halfway point of the season, and doesn't really make the cause any better that, you know, this isn't the first time John Harbaugh has spat out one thing at the side of his neck only for another thing to emerge out of the blue. It's like, the way I see it is basically misleading information that Harbaugh is feeding us. And if I got to be honest, if Lamar chooses to sit out for the rest of the season, honestly, I can't blame him. One thing I learned the hard way is that the NFL can be a shady business at the end of the day. And if you look across the league, if you look at other teams in the past, there are a number of teams that may have, downplayed their quarterback's injuries, and there are multiple examples. For example, like Steve Young got his career ended with a concussion. Same happened with Troy Aikman. I don't want to see the same thing happen to Lamar.
Let me pause that for a second. You're telling me that you'd be okay assuming that the hamstring's good to go. You'd be okay with the current state of this team, Lamar not coming back, even if he were to be healthy enough to come back?
Well, I'm going to be honest. I mean, this is honestly my personal opinion. And, the NFL is a business at the end of the day. And I would say, if you prioritize your health first before anything else, then I would say, by all means, protect yourself at all costs. I mean, we've seen it with our own eyes. Lamar most definitely doesn't feel safe playing behind this offensive line, especially when you got the likes of Andrew Voorhees and Daniel Falele out there. I mean, unless if we don't see change with our depth chart, like our depth on the offensive line, as well as changes within the coaching staff, then very likely this team is not going to get that far.
Thanks for the call, Maurice. Appreciate it, dude. Thanks for the call, man. Guest lines are popping right now. Let me be very clear. If that were to happen, that's called quitting. That's called quitting. Quitting on your brothers, quitting on your commitment, quitting on your team, quitting on your city, period. Brother Goose, welcome back to the program. I swear, if you don't have connectivity, I'm kicking your ass out of here. 60 seconds. Run it back. Welcome back.
All right. We're going to try to get it done this time, Bobby. Hey, listen, I agree with you on that, on quitting on the team. That's unsatisfactory. But here's the deal. Look, it doesn't matter whether Lamar plays or not. This is going to be a real test of whether this team can make it to the Super Bowl. Here it is. The hard facts are the coaching staff has got to play a good game. They got to call a good game. The defense has got to play a great game. It doesn't matter if Snoop can hold serve, period. Don't make any mistakes. You got the best offense going. If the line can hold for him and the defense balls out, we win. So the true test isn't about Lamar. If his hamstring is hurt, his hamstring is hurt. It's not about Lamar. It's about whether the coaching staff can call a good play for Snoop and the defense can ball out. Zach, do your thing.
Brother Goose, perfect connectivity. Thank you for the call, my man. Enjoy your Saturday. Thanks for the energy. Listen, asking Tyler Huntley to play mistake-free football is a tall order. And I like Snoop a lot. I do. And I think at this point, after what I've seen from Cooper Rush, even though I was on record several weeks back for sharing my thought on the idea at the time that he gave them the best chance to win, not behind this offensive line. You need mobility. You crave mobility behind this offensive line. And so now, after a couple games of evaluation, clearly it's obvious that Tyler Huntley, if Lamar can't go, gives them the best chance to win. With that said, even given his mobility, look at the problems that he faced and just how under duress he was in that fourth quarter against the Rams prior to the bye. He was 10 of 15 for 68 yards. That's 4.5 yards per passing completion. It was just dink and dunk. He was sacked 4 times. This is a line that is incapable of holding up. And while tomorrow Chicago's defense doesn't scare you, doesn't jump off the page at you statistically speaking, where they rank right now, aside from 1 or 2 categories as a defense through a 6-game sample size, is very average, if not below average. This has been an offensive line that has not proven to, 1, be able to overcome the war of attrition, 2, move bodies in the run game, and 3, provide ample time for any of the 3 quarterbacks that have suited up in Baltimore in pass pro. Period. Fem, where are you at? Femi says, Bobby, I got $100 on the Ravens. Let me know if you want that bet. I'm going underground this shit today, questioning LJ's character like this is nonsense. Who's questioning Lamar's character? First of all, I don't bet. Who's questioning Lamar's character? What I'm questioning is the organizational messaging in recent days and what changed between yesterday and today. And that was a theory. Maurice got up there to be clear on what I was calling a quitter or quitting or the idea of quit is what Maurice floated out there about the idea that if he were to be healthy at any point down the stretch with that hamstring and he were to be cleared to play and he didn't suit up, that's called quitting. Let me be clear on that. I don't want to get my words twisted here. That was under Maurice's theory. If you were to have been cleared with that hamstring and not come back, that to me is quitting. Moneybag, talk to me. Your 60 seconds starts now. What do you make of this situation in Baltimore on what is a very, very strange Saturday? Welcome, brother.
How you doing, Bobby, man? So basically where I'm at with it is, for one, I just want to touch on what you said this while ago. How is it that the coaching staff can pick up on what's his name? Cooper Rush not being able to keep up with the offense and put in Huntley, but they can't pick up on Faulele not being able to block and put in somebody else in his spot. I don't get that part, for one. Two, I've been agreeing with everything you said all week. This team is done. Whether Lamar comes back or not, we were done at 1-3. They said they was done in Buffalo. I've played football all my life. There's no fight in this team. Everybody has gave up. It's over. Like, there's no optimism, taking away the tables and ping pong. The team's just done. Lamar sees it. He's seen it the last 2 days. It's over.
And just to be clear, obviously there was a lot of confusion coming out of that report. That was a veteran player decision that just got so much run nationally speaking that I think just was totally blown out of proportion. But what still stands is that's what happens when you're a 1-5 team. Right. The Baltimore Banner just came forth with another hit piece yesterday aimed at Todd Monken. More anonymous folks that are internal speaking out, again, anonymously, not putting their name on it. But this is a product of what you get when you're 1-5 and your season is hanging on by a thread and in a must-win game 24 hours prior to said must-win game, your quarterback is downgraded from, I guess, one, questionable to out, and two, full to limited yesterday. The whole thing is just...
I'll just say one more small point. When you have a Super Bowl team, and I forgot who was saying, I think it was Dre, you don't have these problems when the season's at a midway point, you're after the bye. You don't have these issues when you're ready to go to Super Bowl run. It just doesn't happen.
If anything, they should be coming out of the bye with
fire
and enthusiasm unknown to mankind. And it's the exact opposite. This reeks of dysfunction. This reeks of a defeated demeanor. And that's why I'll continue to say this team is cooked.
Okay.
And what I mean by cooked, clarify, because I went and clarified this yesterday for those that Moneybag. Appreciate you, brother. I'll see you around. Thanks for the call. What I meant by cooked and what I continue to mean by cooked, it doesn't mean they may not make things interesting. I don't know what Tyler Huntley's going to put forth tomorrow. I don't know if the Chicago Bears are going to come in winners of 4 in a row and make self-inflicted errors and keep the Ravens in it. And it's going to become a really strange, like closely contested game. I'm of the belief now, if you were to pin me up against the wall, gun to the head, you want a prediction for tomorrow, I'm picking the Bears. I picked the Ravens when I thought yesterday that Lamar was trending towards being able to go. I think a lot of us were trending towards, or at least thought that Lamar was trending towards being able to go. But what I mean by cooked is they have dug themselves a hole that is insurmountable. It doesn't mean they won't make things interesting. If they can somehow find a way with Snoop in heroic fashion to get one tomorrow, and Lamar, as he's expected apparently now to do, returns on a short week against the Miami Dolphins on Thursday Night Football, they will keep things interesting. Minnesota looks really pedestrian. Now, I know they'll probably have J.J. McCarthy back under center in place of Carson Wentz by the time the Ravens play them 3 weeks from now. But let me be clear. This is a hole I don't think that's going to be dug out of. What do you guys think? Justin Holt, good to see you, brother. Your 60 seconds starts now. Welcome into the program. I know you got a lot to say today, I would have to think. Welcome, brother.
What's up, Bobby? How you been?
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you. No, I was definitely a little confused because I saw that he was limited, and then they said he was a full participant. So, like everybody else, you just expect him to be in there. But I want to ask you a question because on the Tuesday night on the collective, Jeff said that if he didn't play Sunday, that he most likely won't play Thursday night against Miami. Do you think that's a fact?
I remember when Jeff said that. I obviously am going to defer to what Schefter just said recently, which is the fresh, up-to-date news. But Jeff makes an interesting point. It's a short week, very short week. And you're playing 2 games in what, 5 days? So I don't know to answer your question. All I know is that what Schefter just tweeted out earlier today, and that's that the expectation, as you see on the screen here, is that he'll make his return against the Dolphins.
Yeah, well, look, I know Lamar just can't not play if he's not hurt. They'll get fined and all of that. But if you go, we lose tomorrow and then we lose again to the Dolphins, I don't know. I might run Huntley or Cooper Rush the rest of the season and I don't know what to do with Lamar at that point. I mean, it's the coaches or Lamar, something got to change, and I don't know what it is, but thanks for all your time, Bobby. I appreciate you, man.
They might be getting fined regardless based on the last 24 hours. We won't go there yet because obviously the NFL is going to have to go and do its investigation. But, I mean, come on. Like, what are we doing here? On a Saturday?
Yeah.
You come back and say, oh, by the way, after John Harbaugh had this to say, by the way, I'm going to let you go, Justin, just to review this. Thanks, brother. After John Harbaugh had this to say.
I know this. He practiced today. Full practice today, so that was good, and we'll see where we're at going forward. I just think we're going to talk about it as we go and figure out what we got to do to try to win the game. I mean, that's really what we're going to try to do. What's our best opportunity to win the football game on Sunday? Where does everybody stand, including number 8, Lamar, and anybody else? And that's just how it goes, and you do your best, and really you could, I'm sure, when we do talk about it at length, but it's not really a public conversation, and we're going to try to put our best team out there and play our best.
And Monken on Thursday.
I have to see, it's the player that really has to feel comfortable going out there and putting themselves in position to play. He says he's ready to go. I'm ready to go. I feel great. I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, any great player that says they want to play, I'm all in. It's up to him. And I thought he looked really good today. I thought there was things he did out there today that took another step forward.
Okay. Here you go. Super chat coming in from Thomas. He says, we have a stretch coming up that consists of 5 divisional games in an 8-week span. Brace for impact, Ravens fans. Even if 8 is back, it's still going to be tough. And Thomas, that is exactly why I couldn't get behind one of those specific points of optimism that I know Sarah and Femi were both leaning on this week during one of our debates. They've played one division game. And say what you want about the Dillon Gabriel-led Cleveland Browns. They have a championship defense. Say what you want about a 40-year-old in Aaron Rodgers. He's got a supporting cast around him, stability for the first time in years since Green Bay after that disastrous 2-year span in New York with the Jets. And say what you want about Cincinnati. They got the best wide receiver duo in the entire NFL, and Joe Flacco's playing with house money. Anything can happen again for the next 5 games. Thomas, that's exactly what I was trying to get at. Throw the degree of difficulty and the strength of schedule discussion out. If that's one of your points of optimism or in terms of something that makes you feel good or encouraged moving forward, I would not personally use that as one for me whatsoever. Guys, I got to get a quick read in. I see the waiting room. It's cooking right now. I see Brother Goose is still here. Brother, the one rule on busy days like this is I got to do one call in per subscriber just to make sure we keep this thing running. Same with you, Taurus. I know you probably got a whole lot more to say. But DeBruz, Juicebox, Julian, I see all you guys. We're going to get to you in just a bit. But first and foremost, this episode is brought to you by my new friends at the Peaks Hotel and Suites. And if you're not familiar with them, man, I would love for you to familiarize yourself because these guys are freaking awesome. And as you can see, I'm talking about Banff, Alberta in Canada. I just got back from my annual bye week trip, and this year was spent in the Canadian Rockies, and it did not disappoint, guys. This was a tremendous visit. 2 nights in Banff, 1 night in Lake Louise, 3 nights in Jasper, flew into Calgary, rented a car, flew out of Edmonton, my college buddy and I. It was just an amazing experience. And right now at the Peaks Hotel and Suites, if you click on the link that I have included at the top of the show notes, you are going to be eligible to cash in on some incentives that Bobby Baltimoreans have at their disposal, thanks to the folks at, again, the Peaks Hotel and Suites. You can enjoy up to 21% off, welcome gift and on-property discounts as your referral bonus. Restrictions do apply. But as you're seeing right here on the screen, the Peaks Hotel and Suites is located right in downtown Banff. It's where we began our trip. It is clean. They put us in one of their suites, which was awesome. Everything was clean. Everybody was kind, helpful, generous. And I'll just go ahead and kind of scroll through here to show you some of the amenities. 24-hour front desk, contactless check-in and digital keys. You've got free EV car charging, and there's also a heated underground parking garage. So if you show up with a rental and you want to tour through Banff and the Canadian Rockies, then you can safely park your car underneath for a really reasonable fee on a daily basis. You've got an espresso coffee in all rooms. It's brand new, and it's right across the street from the Banff Park Lodge, and it's minutes away from all the great restaurants. It's minutes away from a cool river spot, bridges, you name it. It's really one of the most spectacular places that I've visited so far. And yeah, would love for you to go check it out, guys. Maybe you have upcoming summer plans, trying to get out in front of it, or perhaps you want to sneak away during the winter months. It's pretty freaking exceptional there. I feel like we got it right before winter hit. There was a blizzard 48 hours prior to our arrival. So not only did we get peak foliage, but we also got, snow-capped mountains and trees. And it was just, oh man, it was really, really special trip. And I want to say thanks to the Peaks Hotel and Suites for their continued support of the program. Maybe you haven't seen this yet either. If you want to get more of a feel specifically for what this trip consisted of, I have a Instagram reel that's been posted to my account. Again, you can follow Peaks Hotel and Suites on their Instagram page, which is where you see right here at Peaks Hotel and Suites. And here it was a look at the loft that we had, our business room. It was just first class across the board, and a pretty spectacular visit that was at the top of my bucket list items. So special thanks to them, and thank you guys for being here today. If you want to learn more, again, you can visit the show notes where I have a direct link to take you to that site that I just screen shared the last couple minutes. Back to the guest lines we go. And of course, we're talking about the breaking news as of within maybe the last hour or two. Lamar has been ruled out for a 3rd straight game. He was listed as questionable at the end of Friday's practice after being listed as a full participant. Of course, he was questionable Wednesday and Thursday. So a very strange turn of events. Most importantly, it now has the Ravens with their backs against the wall, and Tyler Huntley will be QB1 in a gotta-have-it must-win game against the Chicago Bears coming up tomorrow at 1 o'clock inside the bank. The Bruz, you've been holding for a while, so I appreciate your patience. Welcome into the program. Talk to me about how you're feeling today.
Hey, Bobby, listen, I used to call you Bobby Bayless, Skip Bayless' older brother, because I think that you have a lot of emotion. But what I will tell you, and I'll give you credit, is you're not afraid to speak and say how you feel, right? What I will say is that Ravens will end a hole like this Lamar's rookie year. Maybe not to this degree, but I want you to think about this, right? The ship was sinking. I didn't expect Huntley to have a good game. He was a couple days off the street. We just put him in. He was elevated. He has 2 weeks to plan for this offense. The next 2 games, we play the Bears who are horrible against run defense, and then we play a quarterback that leads football in interceptions, right? So if we don't win those games, then you know what? I will jump on the Bobby train. You could be the conductor, and I'll figure that part out. But right now, what I will say is the hamstring is tricky. He could have woke up not felt well the day after practicing in full and say, I don't think it's a go. And instead of them, risking that, they say, you know what? We'll give you extra days of rest. He'll play the Thursday night game, but then he still has an additional set of days to rest to kind of trick it out, to figure it out. So that's my 2 cents as a man of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, and I go by the Bruz, man. Love
You're
you.
funny,
Keep
man.
pushing.
You're funny, you know that. Bobby Bayless. I do get a kick out of that. I wasn't sure where you were going at first. I kind of like where we ended up. Not exactly where we started, but I do like where we ended
I give
up.
you your credit, man. Listen, it take a lot of just to even deliver bad news of how you feel, because everybody want to be positive all the time, right? And I listen to you and Femi and the show. I agree with Femi to some degree. I do think that I wouldn't say we cook, but I do think that the red flags should be up and there should be a lot of alert. What I will say is the players are speaking out against Monken is true. Not that I know, but you could tell in the play calls that some of those play calls, and I'll just say they're stupid. They don't make sense, right? Like if you have a quarterback that is mobile, why is he in if you got a poor offensive line? If you got Derrick Henry in we running 3 straight tush plays and your right guard is horrible, why are we running screens? Why are we running pitches? Why are we doing the zone scheme that he did well before? So that is the coaching part that I do agree with you, but I don't think they cook. They may be sauteing, Bobby, maybe a little saute there, but I don't think they cook.
Well, let me leave you with this. There is a clear and obvious disconnect inside this locker room right now. And let me tell you why. This past week, you had team leaders like Linderbaum and Kyle Hamilton preaching calmness, right? Preaching togetherness at the podium. Media good guys, saying the right things, getting up there and doing what they do best, those two as draft classmates. They're probably here to stay. Kyle's a perennial all-pro. Linderbaum's obviously struggled this year along with the entire offensive line as a whole collectively, but hopefully he's here for the long haul because I really think highly of him. I think very highly of those two together. So in one breath, you have these two that are taking that approach. In another, back-to-back weeks, you've had other players that are suiting up alongside these two leaders and whining anonymously, I might add, to outlets like the Banner and the Sun. This team is cooked. That's where I'm at, man. And I hope I'm wrong, and I hope you get to take a victory lap in the coming weeks as they dig themselves out of a hole, which I feel is insurmountable given what's taking place right now. The fact that they are finally almost fully healthy, aside from Tavius Robinson, Ardarius Washington, and others, and don't have Lamar back is a total kick in the you-know-where. And they're going to need Snoop, man. They're going to need the Snoop that, like you mentioned, coming off the top of this call with a lot of optimism. He's beaten Chicago in the past in replacement, or I should say in relief of Lamar. He's going to have to do it again tomorrow to keep the season alive. Thanks for the call, brother.
All right, brother.
Appreciate you. Guest lines are popping right now. Torres thinks he's still going to get round 2. Huh? Is that how this works? I guess I'll be invoicing your ass if I give you round 2. Huh? Juicebox, talk to me, brother. Welcome into the program. Your 60 seconds starts right now.
I just want to say, I hear people talk about quitting on teams and stuff. I'm going to say this. Whether he's hurt or not, I don't care, dude. If you feel like you need to sit out, then sit out. Because we've all had jobs and worked for people, and we've had managers and people that have run organizations that were very terrible. If I remember right, RG3 was in there. They put him out in there when they knew he shouldn't have been in there, and he got hurt. So if I'm Lamar, I'm looking at every possible situation and saying, well, I don't trust the coaching staff. I don't trust my O-line. The O-line decision is made by my head coaches, who I don't trust them. So you know what? I'm going to chill, because if I rest the rest of this year, I can go into the next year healthier or whatever, and then go from there.
Bro, that's not how this shit works, though. That's not how this shit works. If he's healthy, Juice, if he's healthy,
Bro,
I'm taking your time off right now.
I understand that, Bobby, but look at what happened with RG3 and a bunch of these other players in there. I get it that you signed a contract and you got to go play, but if you're getting put into a bad spot and then your career gets cut significantly short, when you know the O-line sucks, you know the coaching staff isn't doing anything to rectify because he wants to look like he's in charge of everything. Sometimes you just got to protect yourself. That's all I'm saying. I want him to be out there, but I don't want him to go out there, and the next thing you know, he never comes back the exact same the way he was before. And it was all because everybody was saying, go play. It's like the knee injury. He probably could have came back with that knee injury and played in that playoff when Snoop lost it or whatever. But no, the hell with that, dude, because, okay, you go out there and then you get your knee blown out and then you are never the same afterwards. I understand contractual and I understand that too, but the team will cut bait with anybody immediately if they feel like they don't need you no more. So that's all I'm saying. Sometimes you got to look out for yourself. If he wants to be here, he's going to be there. But somebody on there said body language. Lamar, after that fourth quarter collapse against Buffalo, his whole face, everything, his whole demeanor and everything changed because he don't trust them no more. Never mind the fact that they haven't done anything really for him since he's been there except the past few years. So I'm kind of with you. I feel like he wants to get up out of there, or whoever said, I don't know if it was you, whoever said it. I feel like he wants to get up out of there unless they do something from the top and make some changes and get somebody young in there that could call some good plays. And for the love of Christ, who cares if everybody in the whole world knows that we're going to run the ball with Derrick Henry? It's the smart thing to do. Run the ball with him.
Thanks, Juice.
That's all I'm saying.
Thanks for the call, brother. Have a good Saturday. Later, man. Ryan Joes, this is such a pathetic comment from you. Ryan says, Bobby really came on here to gloat that he said Lamar wasn't going to play. Makes me sick. Ryan, call that goddamn guest line and come on here and tell me why you think I'm getting on here to gloat. This is a pathetic comment from you. It's pathetic. That's what it is. I preached skepticism all week long. All right. I preached cautiousness, realistic expectations. There's no gloating over an injury. There's no gloating over him not being ready potentially for this game. It's a joke. It's a fucking joke right here, Ryan. Call in. Some bullshit right there. That's what that is, Ryan. Captain says, hope for this game, but something is off. I don't know. Maybe it's just a desperate Harbaugh trying to do misdirection and get any advantage, or maybe he tweaks it again. Maybe he tweak it again, but no, you can't tweak it anymore. You've already gone this far. They're already going to get docked something. God, they could get docked a draft pick depending on the investigation of this. I don't know. We'll see what the severity is. Clearly, the NFL is going to have to look into this. Wow, it pisses me off right now. The NFL will be coming down on the team 100%. Robbie says Monken will be gone before we get the offensive line changes. Who knows? He said that he doesn't anticipate too many offensive line changes. I'm still waiting for Ryan to call in. OX3, welcome to the program, brother. 60 seconds starts now. Great to have you, man.
Thank you so much for having me, man. It's a pleasure being on here. I just wanted to say, first of all, you can't let that dude let you get to you like that. That's not who you are, and I know you're better than that. But I think for a lot of the fan base and why a lot of people are upset is because this is something that, has happened in the past before. And I think with all the love and support we put into the franchise like this, we just expect it back, right? I am very much of Team Harbaugh has to go. That's no disrespect to him. I'm grateful for what he's done to the city, but as time progressed, I just think that the league has moved on past him. I think Orr is a great guy. Maybe he should have been a position coach for a bit longer before he actually got the call up to defensive coordinator. And the O-line, I mean, you can't fight it anymore. If they're not willing to change it, the only thing we can do is sit back and just complain about it until things change. But as an organization, and it's a copycat league, and I think that championship wise, he's not a championship coach no more. I think if you look at the past couple I'm now running over time. I'll hang up real quick. But if you look at the past championship streaks, you look at all the head coaches. They're not special teams head coaches. They're all either offensive gurus, play callers, or defensive head coaches. So that's all I had to say for real. Thank you for having me on.
Thanks for the call, dude. Appreciate it. You know what's so funny about this? Like all the John Harbaugh job security conversations feel like an afterthought right now based on what's going on. They're just about fully healthy. Their season is hanging on by a thread. You got a must-win game coming up against Chicago. And now this strange last-minute tweak of an injury report that had already gone final. Your head coach is up there talking the way he did yesterday. Monken's talking the way he did on Thursday. Lamar is a participant, at least limited, 2 days in the week. He's a full participant on Friday. But then, wait a second, NFL Network comes forth this morning and says, no, he was actually just leading the scout team. And now he's been ruled out. And as a result, we're kind of all grasping for clarity, grasping for answers. And if you're Ryan, grasping for bullshit. Appreciate you guys for being here today. Rave is looking like he is still in bed. And if that's the case, Rave, get up, man. It's a beautiful fall day, isn't it? I don't know where you live, but it's beautiful down in St. Pete. I know that. I know that for sure. Couple super chats. Kobe says, Bobby wants to meet everyone in the parking lot. I shouldn't have spoken to Ryan like that. It's very frustrating when one, words are put in your mouth, and two, something as serious as this. This is serious now. This is going to be a national storyline, right? This is big. This is a big deal. And so all of a sudden, when labels are thrown onto you just totally lazily and recklessly, it's frustrating. Show Me Rose says, I've never been so annoyed, but that does not mean I get to talk to them like that, so I apologize. Ryan's probably a subscriber. He's a viewer. I shouldn't have spoken to him like that. Still want his ass on the guest line, though. I know that. Show Me Rose says, I've never been so annoyed by this franchise. This is a circus and very embarrassing. Back to the guest lines we go. Your thoughts on today in Baltimore. Lamar Jackson's been ruled out of tomorrow's game against Chicago, as you probably know by now. And I want to get your thoughts. Julian, talk to me. You've been holding for a while. 60 seconds starts now, my friend.
Oh my goodness. I just came from the barber shop, as you can clearly see. I don't even know where to begin with this, Bobby. I really don't, man. I mean, this is by far the worst management of injury I've ever seen in my life. And they've always been on top of stuff like this, but this rubs me, and I'm pretty sure everybody else, the wrong way. The fact that they didn't think this through or whatever. Like you said, you've been playing clips from Harbaugh and Todd Monken from yesterday, and then come around today and say, "Oh, he's limited." How do you mismanage that? You guys should be smarter than I just don't get it. Now,
Yeah,
whether
guess
they,
what? And guess what? I'll tell you what.
Mhm.
Everybody is so quick to point the finger at the organization. Let's make sure we start playing the blame game in a fair, balanced fashion here.
Right.
Because this is Lamar as well. Okay? If he's not ready, he's not ready.
Right.
But as we watch how the week unfolded, it sure seemed like there was hope and optimism within that building that he was going to be ready to go in a gotta-have-it game.
Exactly.
Something may have happened over the last 24 hours, and if that's the case with his hamstring, I hope the best for him, and I hope he can get himself fully healthy at some point in the very near and imminent future, particularly if Snoop is able to win this game on Sunday. But I got to tell you, this is not like for those of you that just so quickly are looking for reasons to out the organization, to rip the organization, and I'm not saying they're above criticism. Come on. And if anybody who tells me that I'm doing that or an apologist, you haven't been watching. You just simply have not been watching, right? I'm already here. Comes Steezy 23. As soon as I say that, right? I love this. This shit's classic right here. As soon as I say let's have a fair and balanced conversation, if we're gonna play the blame game, look at this. The mob comes out. Steezy 23. The mob says Bobby's blaming Lamar.
No, he clearly didn't hear it.
We're trying to have a conversation in terms of how this disconnect has ultimately led to a last-minute decision, which is totally abnormal, totally the opposite of what protocol is.
Right.
Okay, and we're trying to look at it objectively, Steezy. Just because I'm talking about that doesn't mean that I'm gloating about being potentially right. We still don't know everything that went down, but I practiced and preached. I tried to at least this week. Cautiousness, skepticism, right? Just patience,
Be
essentially,
aware.
and
Yeah.
reassessing expectations. That's not English for gloating. That's not English for immediately looking to out Lamar for any reason. Come on.
It's not.
Sorry, I'm going to reset your time because I cut in front of you. I'm fired up today because there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of people putting words in people's mouths, and also looking at this situation, I think, incorrectly. Go ahead, Joe. I'm going to reset it for you.
Yeah. I understand. It's just it's frustrating because I don't even know what to say, but yeah, it's frustrating to see this unfold, and I don't think we've ever like experienced anything like this because it's really a tragic situation, and like you said, it's gonna be a national story. They're gonna be talking about this on ESPN or on NFL Network or any sports like what happened between the yesterday and the couple minutes before they announced that he was going to be out and limited. Like, what changed? What was the issue? And that's what the clarity we have not gotten yet. And only people that's going to answer that is Harbaugh and himself, basically, and whoever the team doctors were. So that's on my only issue. As far as tomorrow is concerned, I mean, yeah, we're going to see what Snoop has for tomorrow, and he's beaten, like I said, he's beaten the Bears before, so we're gonna see if he's going to do it again tomorrow. But it's just a bad vibe to have all this happen. You finally get healthy, and then something like this comes out. Like, come on, bro, the bad stuff has got to stop eventually. Like,
Thanks, brother.
it's too much.
Appreciate you, Jewel. Have a great weekend, man. Thank you. Over 1,600 concurrents, guys. A lot of people weighing in on this. This is as strange of a situation as it's been for Lamar, probably since the contract saga back several years ago, and that's where we stand right now. Kwame says, "Tell us what Lamar said, Bobby." Shaking my head. Tell us what Lamar said, Bobby. Shaking my. He didn't speak this week, Kwame. He didn't speak this week. And I wonder if he's spoken with the Ravens throughout the week. Were they blindsided by this? Is there an open line of communication between Lamar and this coaching staff? He didn't say anything this week, Kwame. Captain says, we'll say his name. We'll say this. His game status was questionable. Rephrase that, Captain, for me. Help me out here. Guest lines are open. And yes, they are. My goodness. Okay, Ryan has popped into the waiting room. I just noticed this now. Good, because you're not getting a 60-second timer. You're going to get as long as you want, because we're going to have a good spirited conversation here, not raise our voices. And I want you to tell me why you feel like I was gloating at the top. I'm glad Ryan called, and I commend him for doing so. Ryan, welcome to the program.
Hey, Bobby, how you doing?
Good, dude. How are you?
I'm doing all right. So listen, I'm a big fan of you and Sarah, first off. I watch you guys' show every day. That's the reason why I thought you were gloating when you first came onto the program today. When you started the show, what'd you do? Put your arms up and said, "I hate to say I was right." You know, Ravens fans were hanging on the hope of Lamar Jackson playing. So you coming out and saying that obviously is going to rub some of us the wrong way. That's the only thing that I had an issue with. So I decided to pop on here. I thought you got a little crazy with your language at me. So I wanted to make sure I popped on.
I shouldn't have spoken to you like that. My apologies. And I see where you're coming from off the top. In no way was it a victory lap. It was simply, look, that debate got spirited, Ryan. If you go back earlier this week with Femi and Sarah, that debate got spirited. And I felt strongly that skepticism should be preached. When I say skepticism, I really mean cautiousness, because there was so much uncertainty that my big question is, why are we leaning on, like, what do you have to be instilled by confidence? That was my big thing. What do we have to lean on? And to me, there wasn't much aside from the fact that he was, yes, a participant in limited fashion and then upgraded to a full participant. And so I slowly started to go in that direction yesterday.
Yeah, I was aware of your position earlier in the week of you thought the Ravens were cooked and that you thought Lamar probably wasn't going to play. which I somewhat actually agreed with you. So I was shocked today to see the news, as well as everybody else.
Yeah, look, dude, the organization might be shocked.
Yeah.
The biggest thing here is what went awry this week from a communication perspective between the team and Lamar, and was there an open line of dialogue? I don't know. Certainly suggests by this last minute tweak and now retroactively going about his game status. I mean, there's a lot of questions here.
Yeah, there is. I will say I disagree with your last point about the organization maybe not knowing and Lamar maybe just not being on the same page with them. I'm not sure if it's that deep, but it could be.
You go back a few years ago with that. The context there is you go back a few years ago with the contract extension and how private Lamar is. It just begs the question: has he gotten back to that? He may never have wavered from the privacy approach that he takes. And look, hey, he's obviously entitled to that, and it's made him a lot of money throughout this entire process.
Right.
But if there was such a level of privacy that almost a wall was built, in a sense, from a dialogue standpoint this week, then that's problematic.
Right.
Hey, let me just reiterate. Should not have spoken to you that way. My apologies. I hope you accept
totally
my apologies.
Okay. I understand the passion, bro.
And too, Ryan, you know what it is? It really is. It's a cumulative effect of some, whether it's within the live chat or the Twitter space, that want to label, and I say us, label me in this case. And it takes a toll after a while. You caught the brunt of it, and I apologize.
That's all right, Bobby. I enjoyed the program. I've been watching you guys for a couple of years. This is the first time I ever called in. I felt I had to, so.
I'm glad you did. I basically gave you no other choice.
Right.
I commend you for doing so. I respect you. And again, apologies for speaking to you that way.
That's all right. Thanks, Bobby. Take care.
Thanks, man. Thanks for all your support too, Ryan. That's the beauty of it right there. I'll walk myself back on that one from a language standpoint, not necessarily disagreeing with the gloating though. I'll stand on that one. But Ryan, we appreciate your support, man. Thank you for calling in. Back to the guest lines we go. Vino is in the house. Rave, I know. I see it. Rave's in the middle of a cat nap on this Saturday afternoon, and Torres still thinks he's getting a second opportunity to come inside this vault. Not the vault. Inside me? Oh, wait. Hey. Vino, welcome back into the program. Good to see you, man.
What's up, man? First time caller, long time Ravens fan. Just wanted to say a couple things about not necessarily the injury, but more so the blaming of the coach. Since Lamar came, we've clearly had like a strong leadership setback. We come from leadership of Ray Lewis, Jonathan Ogden, a bunch of different players, and they were soldiers. They would die on the front line, soldiers. And this team, a lot of players have been solely incentivized, whether that be the media or Pro Bowl recognition, whatever the case may be. These guys just seem to have the mentality of the win will come to them rather than have a chip on their shoulder and taking the win. And I think that's where a lot of the problem lies. It does have similarity to a few years ago when he did stop playing when the contract year happened or whatever the case may be. So I think there's some things to look at there. It's all confusing, and I think it just boils down to leadership, honestly, man. I think we just don't have the chip on our shoulder, and these guys think the win and the wins will come to them, honestly, man.
Thanks, Vino. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for the call, dude.
Nah.
I strongly dislike this comment right here. I really do. Oh, it's so frustrating. Sir X Gemini says, or formerly Sir X Gemini, now Maurice says, Bobby, you can't blame Lamar if he chose not to play for the same offensive line that quit on him after the Lions game. Oh. This is why our friend Kadri refers to some within this fan base as Lamarites. Because some, not all, some can see no wrong with Lamar. Some refuse to ever even remotely criticize or suggest that Lamar could improve here. Lamar could be better here. And this right here is suggesting exactly what Maurice said earlier on, which is that if Lamar's hamstring were to be a full go, Maurice thinks that he doesn't owe it to this team, to this entire organization, to play. And that is mind-boggling to me. It's perplexing and it's wrong, is what it is. That's not how this works. Justin says, unfortunately, this isn't the first time this has happened with this organization. Now, I'm not going to say it's all on them this time, but you can't lie on the injury report. Captain says, we can be a little mad and surprised of how they handled this situation, but they did list him as questionable for the game. I think they did know. Thanks, Captain. And thanks to all of you for being with us. Appreciate you guys. Dre Scales, call in, calling me a simp. Why don't you call your ass in and tell me to my face virtually? How about it? Rave, time to wake you up from your nap. Baltimore King, I see you. We'll get to you in just a second. And let's go wake up Rave, who is taking a little bit of a cat nap. 60 seconds starts now. Welcome back to the program, my man.
Let's be honest, okay? And I want everybody to listen real quick, bro. I've listened to everybody, all y'all issues. Look, I watched Lamar Jackson's injury in that hamstring. The man, when he got on that side of his field, when he got hit and he talking about he was hurt, he bounced right up really, really fast. And then they wrapped up his leg with a rubber band and a glove. Cut it out. I'm not saying Lamar wasn't banged up, but this is what happened in the past 24 hours that everybody's so confused. I don't know why y'all didn't see this. This whole entire time, Lamar Jackson was rioting against the team. And there's a reason. What happened in the past 24 hours is he found out that they're going to have the same lineman blocking for him, and he knew it. That he knew he can't really do too much about it because it's on John Harbaugh's call. This is facts. I'm not lying to you guys. Stop this cutting out. I know what happened. Bobby's right. He's not blaming Lamar, but he's speaking facts that Lamar is a part of what happened. Lamar's fed up with John. He's fed up on how they're handling situations, and everybody wants to act all confused about what's going on. I'm watching it between my eyes. I'm looking at it as a clear coat. You don't go from full participation, ready to go, to all of a sudden randomly just, limited, and now he's in trouble. So John Harbaugh's in trouble. The organization's in trouble, and I hope the NFL puts them on full accountability. This is a full stance against the organization, and I know Lamar is not liking it, and he did it on purpose, and I know it. That man been ready. He's laughing and chuckling up with Tyler Huntley. That picture went viral. Bobby, you remember he was laughing on the side of on the bench while they was losing. He was laughing. He knew it. He was enjoying having a good time. I'm not blaming Lamar, and Bobby's not blaming Lamar too. But the truth is, this is a full stance, 10 toes down. Lamar saying, hey, fix this situation or I'm out. And they're not fixing it. So he's like, okay, cool. I'm going to sit out because he knows how valuable he is. I'm sorry, but I had to explain it out. Y'all tripping, man. I know what's going on.
Appreciate the call, brother. Get back to that nap, will you? Get yourself well rested. Appreciate you guys for being here today. Over 1,700 concurrents. We're all reacting to the injury news that Lamar will indeed be down for a third consecutive week tomorrow, and a got-to-have-it game against the Chicago Bears. And there's a lot of emotions running today, including from myself today. Yes, that is not. Yes. Baltimore King, talk to me here. Welcome to the program.
Hey, just real quick. I thought the last thing that the person said, to kind of be frank, was kind of bullshit. And I also will say that on your end, when they kind of accused you of saying that you would want something bad to happen to Lamar because that goes to your integrity in regards to him as a person, right?
Hey, can you mind speaking up for us a little bit? And just
what I'm saying is basically, I think is bullshit what the last person said, because I think that if you think that Lamar would purposely say that he's not playing, this is the person who's defended that same offensive line, right? I also think it's bullshit if someone says that you personally think that you'd want something bad to happen to Lamar because it would go towards you as a person. Why would you want something bad to happen as a person, right? But if you think any of this in regards to what happened has to do with Lamar, I'm going to completely disagree with it. If after the bye, Lamar was listed as not practicing, that should have already told anyone within the organization that knows about what's happening that something's up in regards to his ability to play. So anyone who had hopes, Lamar never spoke. So even if Lamar purposely didn't want to play, he never spoke. The people that spoke for him, whether it be the media, whether it be injury status, they are to blame. Because at the end of the day, any hope that you had did not come from Lamar. It came solely based on what was given out through the media or injury reports. That's where I stand. Anything else is bullshit.
Let me stop you on one thing, though. Listen to Todd Monken in response to what goes into the decision, what his role is in this decision when it comes to a player's health status. This is from Thursday. Stay on if you could.
What I have to see, it's the player that really has to feel comfortable going out there and putting themselves in position to play. He says he's ready to go. I'm ready to go. I feel great. I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, any great player that says they want to play, I'm all in. It's up to him. And I thought he looked really good today. I thought there was things he did out there today that took another step forward.
And what I'm saying to you and hearing that same exact report, let's say we go with the worst case scenario. Lamar doesn't want to play. The people that give out information to the media that in any way make it seem as if that he's going to play are to blame. Lamar's not the person that had that last clip. Todd Monken had that. Lamar's not the person that did personnel changes that made Tyler Huntley be on the team as an active member of the roster. The Ravens did that. So the Ravens were well aware. And if you actually listen to during the week, many times when they were like, well, how did he look? They never spoke about it. And at one point in time, John said, you know what? EDC doesn't want me to speak on it. So the Ravens were playing games. And as fans, we were hopeful for it, but at no point in time did Lamar say or do anything that would lead anyone to believe that he was going to play. If anything, what Lamar did was he didn't practice on Monday. What Lamar did was he came late to practice, I believe, on Wednesday, and I don't even think he practiced on Tuesday. So if you were just listening to Lamar, everything said Lamar was not going to play.
Just to be clear, nobody practiced on Tuesday. That was an off day.
Okay. So thank you for clarifying that. But everything, if Lamar spoke and his actions were his words, he didn't practice on Monday, coming off a bye. He didn't. He came late on Wednesday. I believe that was confirmed. And then during the week, when they asked, okay, how does he look? There was a couple of reporters that asked how he looked. Nobody indicated that, okay, he looked good. He was moving around. The Ravens were playing games. And I'm a Ravens fan. I love the Ravens. I have some level of respect for John. Everything about this has everything to do with the Ravens and EDC. And honestly, as mad as we are, this may not even be a bad thing. If you're trying to do what we're trying to do, where you need Lamar for the long run, you're going to need him to be 100% healthy. And if you can't beat the Bears with Tyler Huntley, then you don't deserve to be in the playoffs. That's just a fact. Most of the truth lies in the gray. People want to go black and white. Lamar is doing this on purpose, or Bobby is happy about Lamar being hurt. No, the truth is in the gray. Lamar has nothing to do with this, and the Ravens were playing games because at the end of the day, they want Lamar for the long run, and Lamar has a big year as far as his contract, and he wasn't ready. Why would you think he was ready if he didn't practice after the bye?
Thanks for the call.
If he was ready, why would he practice?
Appreciate you.
But that's all I got.
Thanks for the call. My response to that is that this is a collective decision. This is a collective organizational decision. There has to be open dialogue between two parties here. And so if organizational leaders like the coordinators on Thursday, like the head coach on Wednesday and Friday, don't have a clear idea because their quarterback is not fully communicating about how he feels, that's a problem. That's a problem. Johnny, 60 seconds. It's your second time through. Can't set that precedent. 60 seconds just because you were in the car the first time around. This is our last one of the day. I'm sorry, Rave. I'm sorry, Taurus. I'm sorry, the rest of the waiting room. Last one of the day because I got to get to some late lunch plans with my aunt. Johnny, talk to me.
Hey, Bobby, I appreciate it for letting me back in, man. Just really quick. I'm with you. I'm against everybody else about Lamar. I really blame it all on Lamar. I put it all on Lamar. And just think about it, a couple years ago, didn't he hurt his knee or something when we was going to the playoff, when we lost to the Bengals? Wasn't this the same thing? Lamar sits out, Lamar holds out, Is he healthy? Is he playing? Is he not? My whole thing with that is I just believe Lamar mentally is not strong enough to win a championship for Baltimore Ravens. If you check the first game, I want to say against Buffalo or maybe against Kansas City, it takes him 2 drives to start throwing his helmet. So I'm like, at this point where the whole city needs you, your whole organization needs you, you out there smiling, giggling, laughing, but you're not going to give it a try, not just one try. You're not going to just suit up. I just feel like it's a bad look for Lamar, man. And I'm against everybody. I think it's all on Lamar. I appreciate you, Bobby.
Thanks, Johnny. Thanks for the call, man. Just to be clear, obviously I have not fully blamed the situation on Lamar. That's Johnny's take. To me, this has been a failure on all fronts from an organizational standpoint. Dialogue, communication, everything in between. How do you go from being a limited participant to upgrade it to full on Friday? Then the report comes out and listed as questionable, by the way, for the game. Then you call up Tyler Huntley in place of and add him to the 53-man roster in place of Cooper Rush. Then the report comes out from NFL Network this morning from Rap Sheet that he was actually just handling the scout team role on Friday. And then Schefter says, no, he's actually not ready. He's been ruled out. And then the team comes out and clarifies, hey, that actually should have been a limited participation rank against his name, with his name, I should say, yesterday with the hamstring. And he's actually, as a result, been ruled out of this game. Like, there's just something went awry there. And so I'm saying this is a failure from both parties. And it suggests that there's something bigger going on in terms of the leadership, the framework and the structure of the organization, the communication that clearly is not being streamlined accurately between coaching staff and hierarchy and quarterback. And as a result, something within there has gone wrong. Shout out Steve Loop for being here in the midst of all of this. Tyler's father, Ravens rookie kicker. And Steve, I got to say, I would have thought we'd have a lot more conversations about a rookie kicker at this point in the season to date. And we barely even discussed him at all because of the way this season has gone. But anyway, it's great to have you here, Steve. Thank you for your patience in watching this, despite some of the dysfunction, despite some of the emotional overflow. Guilty as charged earlier on in the program. I appreciate all of you guys for being here on this breaking news Saturday. I will be back for pregame coverage, assuming that nothing comes out between now and 11 a.m. tomorrow. I'll be back for pregame coverage tomorrow. I would love for you guys. And Steve, I love the optimism, baby. I love it. And you have to, right? You got to lean in to all the optimism and more. And I hope Tyler's rookie season and that entire experience has been awesome for him, despite, obviously the win-loss record at this point. Guys, Steve is one of many, over 1,000, matter of fact, that are a part of the Bobby Baltimore Discord server. It's a 24/7 hub for conversation surrounding Baltimore sports, and it is free to join. If you'd like to, click on the link that I have pinned in my live chat right now, and you can join with a bunch of other folks. Again, we talk football, baseball, Washington Capitals hockey, now that that's right around the corner of the season, or it's already underway. The NBA. Anything happened in the NBA this week? Good Lord. The swag showcase where people talk about their apparel and Ravens merch and a number of other things. It's just an open line of communication in here, and I really love it. The Discord link, again, I'll drop it in right here. But again, those that want to join, you can just click on the link and freely join the pinned comment right now in the live chat. Have I finished up all of my super chats? Captain says Lamar did not quit. He would lose all respect from his teammates. I think it's pretty simple. They just wanted an advantage and confuse the Bears. Well, let me be clear here on this whole Lamar quitting thing, okay? Let me be very, very clear. And I think I already have been, but just in case there's any kind of like unfinished business on this. Folks have called in and chimed into the live chat with the idea, throwing out a theory or a scenario that if Lamar were to be healthy moving forward, that it doesn't serve him to play again. And all I've said is, if a player, whether it's Lamar or anybody else, whether it's in this organization or anywhere else, chooses to do and make that business decision, that is a breach of contract. That is quitting. And that is ultimately betraying the brotherhood of who you suit up alongside. Period. That is not something that I'm accusing Lamar of doing. That was floated out by folks in the live chat and folks that called in. And I responded accordingly. Okay, so please do not take that for anything other than what it is. Okay, and I want to finish there. That's that. It is black and white. It is that simple. Nobody is suggesting that he's quit on his team. It's the scenarios that have been floated. Let me make sure to refresh Twitter just in case there's been more to this that we've missed. I think for the most part, we're fully caught up to speed. So I will catch you guys for pregame coverage. We're going tomorrow, 11:30, right up until kickoff. I'm sure there'll be a lot more to discuss. If you haven't already done so, please go to my show notes and check out the Peaks Resort, the Peaks Hotel and Suites, where I stayed in Banff during the bye week last week. It was a fantastic experience, and I hope you'll consider popping on and checking out some of the incentives that are available to you as subscribers. Robbie says Harbaugh and co got too excited. This is a learning lesson for the coaching staff to get that injury report right. A lot of moving parts today. Lot. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I appreciate you for all the love, support, and viewership. And a special thank you to Ryan for calling in, because that was cool, and I got a lot of respect for what he did today. So thank you, Ryan, and thanks to all of you guys. Have a great rest of your weekends. We'll catch up in well less than 24 hours. Later.